So what is going on, everyone? Fernando Silva here with another video, and before we get started, it would be awesome if you guys can smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. But today we're going to be talking about my perfect iPad Pro on-the-go, mobile, modular setup that I have with me right now. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So if everybody saw the thumbnail, the first thing we gotta talk about is where we're housing all of this mobile product, right? So this is a backpack by Initech. It's a beautiful thing. I've had it for a little over a year now, and it's the one backpack that I always go to because it's that perfect combination of still pretty cheap for what you're getting and also very quality. So I think this backpack actually only goes for around 40 bucks. And I've gone the cheaper backpack route before, and I even used one of those for about 3 years. It was a $20 backpack, but there was very little cushion on the backpack. So if you drop your bag housing all of your expensive tech, then it's going to mess up your tech, which happened to me. And that's why I ended up going with a little bit more expensive, but I'm still not spending $100 on a backpack. This thing was 40, 50 bucks, and I'll leave everything linked below so you guys can check it out. But this backpack by Initech is awesome. I believe it's a 40-liter bag. It has a dedicated laptop holder, a dedicated tablet holder. It's got a little USB port so you can plug in an external battery, which I always do, and then plug in something else so you can charge on the go. It's got 2 cup holders, which is something that I'm always looking for. I need at least 1 cup holder with my bags. Maybe not as much anymore, but I remember being very, very annoyed when I had a backpack with no cup holder when we were walking and going to work back in those days. But then other than that, you have, like I said, the main compartment, then you have another smaller compartment, but still a big one, which you can house. I put my cologne in there, lots of pens, maybe some loose cords, and a phone, whatever the case may be. And then you have 2 front pockets, which are great for quick little things like keys, any medicine that you have, anything like that. And then even on the back, there's a secret pocket that's actually behind you. And then again, everything is super padded. The actual shoulder straps are very, very sturdy and very, very cushioned, and so is the back. So if you are wearing this backpack for long periods of time, you'll be totally fine. And if you're carrying textbooks and laptops, again, it's just a good backpack for the price and quality that you get out of it. And again, it's been working for me for a little over a year now, so it's hard to complain. So 40 bucks for a year's worth of usage, that's a win in my book. And then if we continue on, obviously, since this is an iPad Pro setup, let's talk about the iPad Pro itself. So I have the 2018 256 gigabyte model from Apple. Again, I've been using it for almost 2 years now, and the thing is amazing. It's what I attest this entire channel to. Without that iPad, this channel probably wouldn't even exist. So that's the iPad that I have, and then I do have a D-brand skin on the back of it, just because I like that look. And then on the front of it, channel sponsor Paperleg is always keeping us protected. So if you guys want a screen protector, which is the first thing that I tell anybody to get when it comes to an accessory standpoint for your iPad, because that screen is the moneymaker. That screen is the one asset if you ever want to resell your iPad, because that is the way that you interact with it, whether it's your finger or the Apple Pencil or anything in between. I like to have my Paperleg screen protector on there, just so whenever I do take notes, it feels a lot more natural. And then also the anti-glare and the protection, it's just hard to beat, guys. But that's what's on physically the iPad Pro, and then I also have the Apple Pencil 2 on there, and obviously it's sitting on that Magic Keyboard for this specific setup. I do have another one where it's going to be a little bit more modular coming up on the channel, so definitely subscribe and stay tuned for more. So that is the classic iPad Pro setup. And then I also have a mouse that I bring along with me because I do like having that versatility of using the trackpad with the mouse on the side, and that is my MX Anywhere S2 by Logitech. And I've mentioned this product in the channel a million times because I absolutely love it. It's one of the greatest things that I've ever purchased. I've had it for a really long time. And yes, the new S3 has come out, and that added USB-C support, which is the one thing that was lacking on the MX Anywhere S2. But again, I've had it for over a year, almost 2 years, and still an amazing device. And then I want to talk about this pack that I have. I actually made a video on this a little while ago. I called it my iPad Pro emergency kit because it houses pretty much everything I would ever need for the iPad Pro. So if we get right into it, the actual pack itself is pretty compact, pretty small. It's got a hard shell surface, which is really nice to protect all your goodies in there. Also comes with a little clasp, so you can kind of hang it off the backpack or put it inside of the backpack. And the company is just one that I found on Amazon. I think this thing was like 18 bucks, and I use it all the time. And inside of there is where all the goodies are. So inside of that, I actually have the new Satechi portable battery, which is absolutely amazing. It has a USB-A and a USB-C out. It's got a built-in Apple Watch charger, which is very, very rare to find these days, especially one that's kind of backed by Apple and you know that it's gonna work every single time. So that is my new portable charger of choice because I can charge, not only does it charge my iPad Pro, but I can also slap my iPhone on there to charge my iPhone wirelessly and the Apple Watch. So it's a perfect on-the-go accessory, and you can even use it as a nightstand hub if you're gone for multiple days because you just plug it into power and all of a sudden you have a wireless charger for your iPhone, a charger for your iPad Pro, and an Apple Watch charger. So it's a beautiful thing to have. And then I have a couple other accessories by Satechi, which I absolutely love, which I think, especially if you're in the Apple ecosystem, they're worth checking out. So I have the Apple Watch USB-C charger. Now you don't need to use it with the actual iPad Pro to get it to work. It'll work with any USB-C port, but I just like it because it looks super clean when I have like the Apple Watch just hanging right next to the iPad Pro. It's a great aesthetic. And then also I have the AirPods Pro, and it works with regular AirPods charger. It's a little cradle, again, just a USB-C port, that's all you need, and then all of a sudden you're wirelessly charging either your AirPods 2 or your AirPods Pro. And then for on-the-go data management, because I do only have 256 gigabytes on the iPad Pro, every now and then I gotta clean it up. It's a good thing that I did not go with the base model because that would not be enough. So if you guys are using a 64 gig iPad Air or something like that, you're gonna need an external hard drive of some sort. So I use the one by RavPower. It's a 500 gigabyte SSD. When I purchased it, it was around $80. Again, I'm gonna link everything down below for everybody to check out because all these products are very fairly priced, they're very quality, and I usually don't skimp, if ever, on products for the iPad Pro because I know when I get a product, I'm gonna use it for the long term. It isn't a quick fix product that I'm getting for 20 bucks. So the SSD that I use, like I said, is a 500 gigabyte one by RavPower. It's been working well. That's why I pretty much offload all the finalized projects of this channel and just kind of leave it in there as an archive. Now I do want to get better at data management and kind of start saving all the clips because for right now, the only thing that I do save is my final video. All the other clips I usually delete after, a week or so because I feel like I don't really need them. And I do want to change that up to have a little bit more versatility and be able to kind of go back for old clips to use for new videos and things like that. But that is my mobile data storage solution right now. It's just my RavPower, 500 gigs. So far it's been plenty. And then I also have just a couple of cords hanging around. I got a couple USB-C to USB-C cords, USB-C to Lightning, just to make sure that I'm covering all my bases. And then I even have one of those 3-in-1 chargers. Now it ends with a USB-A, but then you have a USB-C, micro USB, and Lightning cable. And that's pretty much the cable that I use for my MX Anywhere S2 whenever I do need to charge it up, even though it's very rare that I do need to plug that thing in. And then in terms of a USB hub that I like to have on the go, now I have a bunch of them. I have some for the desk, I have some for desk setups, I have smaller ones that are just for like single use cases, but the one that I like the most for an on-the-go solution is this 9-in-1 by Initech. Now the reason I really like this 9-in-1 is because A, it has all the ports you would ever need. You have SD, micro SD, you have Ethernet, USB-C, USB-A, VGA, HDMI, they're all in there. Even a headphone jack is in there if you ever do need it. And then the actual cable you would need to plug it into the iPad Pro is just tucked away in the physical device. So it's extremely hard to lose that little cable. Yes, it's a tiny, I think it's like a 3-inch cable or even smaller, but it fits snugly in the actual device itself and you'll never lose it because it's right there. And not only that, but it's also good to have as like an emergency dongle too, because sometimes I need to charge something else and that's a perfect length because it does bend and it's very, very sturdy as well. So that by Initech, again, over a year I've had that guy, and not only does it work for the iPad Pro, but it works for any other USB-C device, and it's just freaking awesome, honestly. If anybody's looking for a USBC hub, that one is a good mobile solution for anybody that's looking for one. And then in terms of actually charging this thing on the go, if I want to plug into an outlet, I have this 65 watt GAN charger by RavPower. It's got 2 USB-C ports and then 2 USB-A ports. I kind of like it because it does come with an extension, so it's not one of those that plugs directly into the wall. It has its own proprietary 2-prong connection, and then you plug that into the wall, and then you have your 4 outlets. So I like that because it's, again, a very extended cable depending on what you have coming out the other end. Some people don't like having to have that extra cable that would only work with that charger, but I kind of like it because, like I said, it just gives me more extension when it comes to actually charging my devices and just a little bit more freedom that I like to have. And then a couple other things for audio, I just have my AirPods Pro. That's my end-all be-all when it comes to audio on the go, at home, whatever the case may be. Those are my headphones of choice any day of the week, especially after I changed that setting that it auto-connects to all my stuff because that was really messing me up, but I fixed that setting and now it's working beautifully. And then to keep everything like nice and clean, I have this Tech Taffy, which is just exactly what it sounds like. It's this like gooey, sticky stuff that you just kind of roll over your keyboard, roll over your tech. It absorbs all that nastiness, gets it out of there, and then you either wash it off to reuse it, because you can reuse it a couple times, or you just toss it out if you're done reusing that Tech Taffy. But that's pretty much all that I have for my mobile iPad Pro setup. I kind of wanted to show off some solutions because people are starting to leave the house a little bit more and maybe wanted to do stuff outside on a picnic table, again, practicing social distancing. But that is my iPad Pro on-the-go pack, and I absolutely love it. Everything that I mentioned I use on a daily basis. Maybe not the actual hub itself because I have a desk hub behind me that I use for the iPad Pro, but if I'm on the go, and even for a while, that Initech hub was my like desk USB-C hub for all of my devices, and it's awesome. It's a very, very sturdy and quality product. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, everything will be linked down in the description below. Feel free to check it out. And if you guys have other recommendations, also link them below. I'd be more than happy to check them out. Or if you want me to review other accessories that would fit well into this pack, by all means, link them below and I'll check them out. But like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps grow the channel, really helps push the video into more people's eyes. And that's gonna do it. Until next time.